Devers in the Red Sox, or you might get Randy Arozarena in the Rays. Taking on Adley Rutschman in the Orioles. Catch all the action Thursday night, 6:30 Eastern on Fox. Oh, we have just a splendid episode of Weird and Wonderful. It's power-packed because it's Monday. Start off with the wonderful Jags-Colts. Oh, Trevor Lawrence loses the ball.
This play was
but
crazy.
Just not paying attention. They forgot.
I don't know how they consider that a football
takes it all the way
He was
back.
just sitting there holding the ball.
Was
Somebody
it an
whacked
alert?
it to the ground.
It was a pretty good alert.
It's not.
It was a good alert. That's
sorry.
right. An alert. It was an alert, and it was.
With a minute left, you're like, whoa, this game is close.
It was in the balance.
It was an alert.
The dude punched the football out of his hands and then shoved him.
Solid upset alert.
Right.
Says it right here. Weird. New Mexico State Liberty in the fourth. Diego Stavia takes off.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, keeps going.
Just keeps. Well, what do you want me to do?
Right,
Stop?
you got to keep
That's
going.
part of the play.
I don't even know whose fault that
Liberty
is.
win this one.
Yeah, look at him.
They moved to
They just got
2-0.
trucked.
Wonderful. USC already up 28-0 on Stanford. You know what? Pretty good. I disagree with putting them on Mahomes Mountain, but every week
That
he
coverage.
just-
He ain't getting
Once
that in
again,
the
he
NFL.
played a perfect football game.
Mahomesian.
He made no mistakes and does a different Mahomes play every week.
So here's the weird part. He has to win the Heisman
Did that
because he's only
pocket get any
playing
cleaner?
half the game.
I know,
Wow,
seriously, that
moving
pocket was
around.
crazy.
4 total touchdowns.
I could have thrown
He only
that
played
at
the
that
first
point.
half. USC rolls.
He looked great.
Weird.
there.
Royals, Blue Jays.
Gave him like 3 days.
Cole Reagan's on the mound.
Oh.
Oh my
He
God.
had a 26-inning consecutive streak. He threw 3 wild pitches in a row, and that's how his streak ends. 2-run score.
Oh, no.
Kansas City.
What is going
Three.
on?
He lost 3 in a row. Kansas City loses their
Is that legit?
100th game. 101 if you count Chiefs-Lions.
That kid is never playing in
That's
MLB again. That is crazy.
Great
Wonderful.
This is weird and
USA
wonderful, I
down
guess.
3 with 4 seconds left. Bridges made this work. I was celebrating, and then we lost, and the whole country got upset. Brew?
5-3.
So now LeBron wants to take over. Do you like that idea? Briefly, we'll do a whole segment on it tomorrow.
It'll be. Look, let's go back and reestablish superiority.
I heard
It'll
LeBron's
be
recruiting
good.
like Steph,
With 40-year-old
Giannis.
LeBron?
Well, they're gonna have Steph and a bunch of other old
Put Carmelo on the
great
team.
players.
You
Wonderful.
know, Giannis isn't making
Dolphins,
it.
Chargers.
AD.
We just showed this, but I can't stop showing it. It's a
Steph.
great pass.
Who else
It's a
did I
great.
see?
It's also
was a
a
great pass.
sneaky, amazing
Great
catch
catch.
because
Yeah,
you
it
can't see
was.
the
It was a
ball
bunch
to
of
the
like
end.
people who
Yeah,
should
it
actually
was.
be in the
Great
Olympics.
pass, great
Best
catch.
receiver.
Hit
KD.
him in the learning.
Booker.
You don't think it was a great catch?
It was fine.
Forgot
It was a
Giannis doesn't
perfect
play.
fine.
USA team.
It's not
You
a
see that
great catch.
defensive back right in his face?
You like him so much,
gosh.
pick him be
About
better
as
than
good a
Patriots.
You
coverage
guys
you can get.
disrespect Tua. You think you're complimenting Tyreek, you're disrespecting Tua. I'm only going to be able to say this once. The Raiders are alone in first place in the AFC
This
West.
is a good play.
Spike Russ looking pretty
what
good.
happens
The
when you
Broncos
scramble
have
Russ.
moved to 0-1. Nick, what was the number one reason the Broncos lost?
I mean, listen, everybody has massive respect and admiration for this guy as a person and colleague, but got to be fair. Sean Payton has made this season about him. He made Week 1 about him, and they look just like the Nat Hackett Broncos.
Oh,
The first play of the era. You already see how it was drawn up. I'm going to show everyone who's here. What's the most famous play of my life? The surprise onside kick.
They almost got it.
They did almost
They
get
did
it.
almost get
and
it.
instead, you're facing a Raiders team that
should have
knows
had
they're
it,
the
actually.
Raiders, that knows that they're not. Their best defensive player's gone AWOL. They don't even. They didn't even know after they signed Jimmy he's going to be the quarterback. They didn't have a ton of optimism. You gave it to them. In this game, this team, whose biggest problem was coaching last year, had 10 penalties, third most in the NFL. Whose biggest problem last year was fourth down and clock management. Had 3 separate fourth down decisions that those analytics bots you love so much, Coach, said 0 for 3. And then, but it's okay. But the real job is to fix Russell Wilson. Did you? Because I saw Russell Wilson last year at home against the Raiders. And I saw him yesterday at home against the Raiders. And they're the same picture. Last year, more yards. This year, more touchdowns. Same year, different year, same 16 points. And remember, it was like, well, they'll score 16. If they scored 17 points, well, that's still true. 11 of 16 games Russ has played, they have scored 16 or less. And so
bad.
I'm not. That Sean Payton gave that interview.
Denver
USA
deserves a
Today,
refund.
Said everything's going to be different because I'm
They got
here. And
fleeced.
that looked like last year's Broncos. So they can't score points. The same thing as last year. They can't score points.
Look, first of all, I don't think that's.
Hopefully we
I
can't
think
say the
going
same
to the
thing about
outside kick
Aaron
to
Rodgers
start
and the
season,
Jets after
we all
tonight.
congratulated Detroit for having the fake punt. The time to do those things when people don't expect it, and nobody expects it there, and the percentage of getting an onside kick is like 60% if it's a surprise versus known. So I have no problem with that, and it does set a tone.
It was a good
does set
attempt.
a tone that things are different. We're going to be
I
aggressive.
mean, the receiver,
we're going to take chances. We're going to be
whoever
creative.
touched on the
I don't
Broncos
have
touched
any
it
problem
like
with that.
9
Russ
yards
did
in. If
throw
he had
for
just
2
waited another
touchdowns.
yard.
That's significant
That's
progress
just such a silly
over last
mistake.
year. So I think that's positive. And why'd they lose the game? They lost the game because the kicker missed 2
Where'd
kicks.
the kicker come from?
I
Who brought him
understand.
in?
Look, he's going to bring in everybody. You can pretty much say that about anybody who's on the team, but they missed those 2. And then defensively, there's some drop-off defensively. It is a different defensive coordinator. It is a different system, and they couldn't stop the Raiders on that last 5-minute drive. And they had the one penalty where, it wasn't really targeting, but it was the helmet to helmet, and that's what
was a
kept the
scary
drive.
one, too.
Yeah, it was, but that's what kept the drive going, and they didn't get the ball back. I thought Russ looked better than he had in the past. I didn't feel like it was the Russell Wilson show. It looked like he had a different approach to the game. Maybe the results weren't dramatically different, but I'd say it's trending at least in the right.
Yeah, Russ looked much better. It was, I mean, look, he only threw for 175 yards or whatever. Yeah, he looked better, though. He looked more poised, looked more comfortable, was moving well outside the pocket and threw the ball well outside the pocket. Surprising they only had 16 points, but
Yeah.
the weapons aren't great. Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, they are
back
missing
will
Jerry
help them,
Jeudy.
But let's just cut
That
to
sucks.
the chase.
Yeah, I know.
We know why they lost. You brought up Sean Payton.
Were you grinding the all 22?
I was grinding all 22. And look,
I didn't even
are y'all
realize-
ready to admit that they just ran into a buzzsaw? Did we see it? I mean, I don't make this stuff up.
Garoppolo buzzsaw.
He's moving up.
Oh, he's now ahead of Payton.
Now he's ahead of Payton.
That is
Look,
incredible.
y'all can laugh, y'all can mock, y'all say he doesn't belong on that list with all those Hall of Famers
Yeah.
or future Hall of Famers, but you know what?
He's up there.
He is on the list.
Okay.
And all he does is win.
True.
And you want to give Kyle Shanahan all the credit. Was Kyle Shanahan in black and silver yesterday? No. Kyle Shanahan was somewhere
Once
else.
again, I'm
coaching.
so glad we did predictions week. Where'd you pick Jimmy G to finish this
Well,
year?
look, all
Last,
I'm saying
right?
is because I said he probably won't make it through 9 weeks.
And he got hurt on the
'Cause he
first
gets
play
hurt
of the
all
game.
the time.
came back.
He
He
fought
came back.
through it.
He
He
came
fought
back.
through it.
Listen.
But unfortunately, it's coming.
Wilds,
But all he does
and again,
is go.
I'm not trying to be too harsh. I just do feel like had the Broncos won,
Yeah.
the narrative today would be we would give.
We are going to ascend Mahomes Mountain. You know what? When we called it Mahomes Mountain, we're like, yeah, Mahomes at the top, and then everyone.
Bengals are
tried
going to be in
ascend it.
mid-tier.
Oh,
At
you
most.
got questions?
I'm just saying,
It'll
Tua
be
threw for
interesting to
466
see. Right.
yards.
Could he
I'm
be
just
at the
saying.
top?
It's
Dolphins
gotta
are gonna be up
volatile.
there.
It's a slippery mountain. The Eagles visited America's team, barely escaped with a win. Those weren't birds flying around. Those were Mac Jones laser beams. As the Pro Bowl quarterback throws for 316 yards and 3 touchdowns. Even threw one to the Eagles to be nice. Wow. What a guy.
Wasn't his fault, though.
I think it was crazy. I thought it was over after it was 16-0.
Definitely let the team down tonight. Couldn't score, early, and we just fell behind because of me, and I put it on myself. As a quarterback, that hurts, right? You get a chance to win the game twice and can't do it. So just got to learn from it. You only get so many opportunities in the NFL to do that, and felt like I definitely let the team down.
Coach, I know you love that self-flagellation from the quarterback. Since any time he says something nice, you get mad at him. Should Patriots fans be happy with this moral victory?
As a fellow Patriots
I think
fan,
you're
I'm
happy.
not.
Yes.
And there's a lot
not okay with
to
Mac
be
Jones.
encouraged by in the sense that they play the Eagles. The Eagles were so productive in terms of pass rush last year.
Yeah.
And sacks, and the offensive line held up, and it was a makeshift offensive line. A couple of rookies playing, so that part was good. Now they rushed for 3.5 yards a carry. That's not good. The problem is that the bar has been so far reset for what a Patriot game is now,
Right.
because they're 25-27 since Tom left. So now if the game's close, you're
That
excited
first,
about it.
that first
But what
pick, it
strikes
kind of
is
reminded
they're-
me of
the Patriots are trying to learn how
the
to
Raiders
be the
last year. I saw
Patriots
Mac
again.
Jones trying to
And
make
we
a tackle,
always
and he just like
started with
wrapped his
not
arm around
beating
like he was giving him a
ourselves. So
hug.
that was always we
got thrown out
wouldn't
of
lose
bounds.
games. Games were that's not what we did. We were able to eliminate that part, and they have the pick for a touchdown. They have the fumble that leads to a touchdown. They've got the
Penalty on the 2-point conversion.
penalty on the so there's those things that are so inconsistent with the brand and the way things are being done. Now I do I do feel like there's a lot of encouraging stuff that Mac Jones did.
Thank you.
I like the way he
It's some
took
nice throws.
accountability at the end of the game.
I didn't like that part.
But it is also a fact that we've just recalibrated how we think about the Patriots.
That's right.
So you're excited about a home loss in the opener.
It's moral
as
victory
opposed to
season.
Wow.
It could have been way,
by
way,
the
way,
end.
way, way worse.
Okay. Can I show you
Let's
a
be
graphic,
honest.
Broussard, and I'll convince you?
We could have gotten
This
beaten
is Mac Jones in
40-0.
his final 40 minutes of the game. Oh my gosh. Completed 70% of his passes,
Great for
almost threw
college
for
basketball.
300 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interception, passer rating 112, and he outscored the Eagles 20-9. Did the beginning of the game go great? No. Did the end go great? Yes. It's like if we went out to dinner, Broussard, and we got a seafood tower or eating prime rib, dessert comes,
Surprised
and a
they
few
were
drinks.
running
Like, wow, this is amazing. And
It
you're like,
wasn't
well, I
that
had a hard
nice.
time parking. Like, dude,
Fox
stop talking
It's a bit of a monsoon.
about the very beginning. I'm like, this is a
54
this is a
tries.
beautiful
It's crazy.
night we're having.
It
You're
is
like,
Mac had more completions yesterday than Burrow had attempts.
Right. It's like
The bread was stale.
It's like
dude,
after we
that was
ate that
an
nice,
hour ago.
nice.